Everybody, I'm intuitive medium Sandy Duncan, and you're here for another episode of Behind the Scenes with the Rescue Mediums. Please say hi to my friends from Rescue Mediums, Michael Lamport, Edna Dargie, Alison Wynne-Ryder, and Jackie Dennison, with our bonus special guest star superfan, Shannon. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi. Thank you for having me back.
So today we're looking at an episode that took place in Innisfil. It was a homeowner and her two young daughters who unwittingly opened a portal and did a couple of other things to create some spirit contact within the home. And then they were clever enough to call rescue mediums to come and help them. So this is an episode where there's so much to learn on so many levels, because this could happen to any of us. And I'm sure I know people that this has happened to before as well. So Edna, the opening question I've got for you. When you, or Michael, or both of you, when you go to interview the people who are going to be on the show, and you see that the storyline involves younger people, teenagers in this case, do you get the inkling or the feeling that Jackie and Alison may encounter spirits of a similar age? That the age has something to do with what may happen?
I don't think I've ever thought of that, of a correlation with the ages. We'll wait and see what we get. However, because they are teenagers, there's always a possibility that maybe they have been playing with a Ouija board. I mean, that's always in the back of my mind.
Right. So the girls unwittingly opened a portal. You and Alison dealt with that. And it's also with the use of mirrors in this episode, which have always kind of freaked me out. We won't get into my personal reasons about mirrors, but opposing mirrors. If you could describe the situation that you were in and how you had to deal with the mirrors, that'd be great.
Well, it started with the premonitions that we had, didn't it, Jackie? And
Yeah.
we were linking in like we always do. We did have something to do with mirrors. And I had something where I felt that somebody's face had changed as they looked into a mirror. And a face seeming to change in a mirror.
Every time I look in the mirror, I get really drawn to it, and my mom always has to tell me to stop looking.
And then Jackie did the most amazing drawing of like a young girl. It was a really haunting looking image of, she was in like a long cotton dress with her hair sort of flying out in the background. That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
An image of a girl in a long white nightdress with a long hair that's blowing in the breeze. I've actually drawn this and I'll show you the picture. There she is. It's quite dramatic, isn't it, really?
It's haunting, isn't it?
It is, and that's how I felt about it. We showed them the drawing in the show and tell. They recognised the lady that I'd drawn as, I think Samantha had a dream about her, or was it Vicky who had she had a recurring dream. It was the same woman in the dream all the time.
This psychic drawing made days before the investigation began eerily matches a figure who repeatedly appeared in the daughter's dream.
That's the boy.
Oh, look.
I don't think that was shown in the.
I don't remember that. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think that was shown, but that was the little boy. And you drew a dream catcher.
Yeah, I did. And it was called Dream State.
Yeah.
I remember that. Because it was all about dreams, wasn't it?
It was.
The dream catcher.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dream state. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see, it all made sense. It all came together.
Yeah. I love the clues that we're given, don't you, Jackie? I do.
It's just
amazing.
What's that, Edna? What does it say at the top?
It says 1, and it's almost like it's a clock. So it's 1:45, a 9 and a 1.
Oh.
And that's something that I drew on there, did I?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I really don't remember that. How bizarre.
And then the window as well with the you can't see it very well, but it's nighttime. There's a crescent moon and a star.
Moon. Yeah. So that must have been round about the time that she was having those dreams, then I would say.
Yes.
But I don't remember doing that plot. Isn't that? I love how Edna brings us surprises in when we do this, when we do behind the scenes, Shannon. It's amazing, you know. I love it.
It's very neat from my side to see all the little things that never made it in the show.
Yeah, well, it's neat for us as well because we forget.
It is, and we do forget.
There's one thing, I'm not going to show it, but Alison, sometimes your I don't know if it was Ruby that with your drawings.
Yes.
Have fun, and there'd be kind of some rude images that would kind of appear in some of the sketches.
Well, I think you should show it, Edna, because they're all over some of her sketches.
So you can just see how our spirit guides have a sense of humour, Shannon, to keep us smiling all the way through.
And Jack, you can decide what to do here.
I dread to see.
But that was pointing
Naughty
the finger.
Naughty Ruby. I didn't even realise it was Edna that pointed out. She went, you know, and she kept every now and again, not every one. It would just, there would be one there, wouldn't there? Or something similar. Yes. One of them had opened the portal, if I got this right, Jackie, and then the other one just kept on doing the Ouija board. They both dabbled, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then
who's used the Ouija?
We have.
You have. How long ago?
Recently.
Recently?
Oh yeah, she did it last week. I told her not to. But...
So you continually using a Ouija, okay?
But to be honest, we were lucky really that with all the Ouija activity, that there wasn't more spirits there than there actually was. Really, it could have been like, you know, a whole army full of them, couldn't it? You know, with the portal being opened. Yeah,
easily.
You're lucky it was as calm as it was then. Is that what you're saying, Alison?
I wouldn't say it was calm, this one. But there could have definitely been more spirits. There was a lot going on, absolutely. And it's quite dramatic as well, because we were getting sort of like physical pain also. I had that awful pain in my hands, but even when I watched the episode back before, I thought I wasn't sure what the pain in my hand was. The only thing I could attribute it to is that the girl was looking for her little brother, who was out in the forest. She was looking for him, and she was worried about him, and she'd gone cold beyond cold.
And I keep getting this pain in my hand.
I think it's a clue as well.
But I've still got this pain in my hand. And this isn't me, because I just don't get pains in my hand like this. No, it's really sore.
Pains in the bum, but not a pain in the hand. Another mirror there.
This is...
She's wearing a shawl and like a cotton dress. She's got nothing on her feet.
Oh my God.
She's got nothing on her feet.
Yes, really, really hurting.
Oh.
Because Jackie said she had nothing on her feet. So she was like looking for a little tiny brother. Alfie, wasn't it? Alfie?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I think my hands were that cold, and that was the pain. It was what was given to me in my premonitions, where it was a vision. Because obviously when we do our premonitions, Jackie and I, we're given the information in so many different ways. This was a vision where I was looking in the mirror and my face changed, which made me, as I was connecting with my spirit team, I was thinking, right, well, are you saying that that's what's happening? Somebody's looking in a mirror and their face is changing. And that was exactly what it was, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah, one of the girls, I'm not sure which one. I think it was it.
I think it was Samantha, wasn't it? Yeah.
Samantha, had looked in the mirror and her face changed in the mirror.
That's it.
And she was aware of that. I think she was quite drawn to it, wasn't she, to the mirror? It was almost like it was hypnotising her almost. So, very relevant.
She said she was looking for her brother.
And she couldn't find him. She just couldn't find him.
Maybe that's why I used to always want to go on a walk.
She did that once.
You did?
Yes.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Before she left, she was looking in the mirror. She just felt like there was something told her just to go. She did. She went through a forest.
That makes perfect sense, because they're her feelings that you were picking up on.
Yeah, so the young spirit woman was sort of like drawing her in.
That's
because
right,
she was asking for help for a little brother, wasn't she?
Mm.
Incredible, just incredible. And Michael, the line that stuck out for me in this episode of yours was, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most haunted sister of all? And
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
That's it. This is it.
What if we took this mirror?
Who's the most haunted sister of all?
Alison.
Remember, that still just gives me goosebumps, even me saying it. Never mind you. Oh my
Well, I
goodness.
mean, when you're dealing with mirrors, everybody is thinking that in the back of their head, mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to use a line like that. You've got to. And I wish that in the limo on the way home, the pun that we made was about port. But now I wish we'd have done something which is like, we did really well. Well, that's a good reflection on us. And used a pun like that, but we didn't anyway.
Well, we can do that one now. So maybe we'll have a cheers to that at the end of this episode online, and you can say that. That would be a good one, Michael. Like it, yeah.
Jackie, it was so interesting too. At the very beginning, when you sat down with the homeowner and her daughters, you looked at one of the daughters and said, "Did you have blonde hair?" And I'm so curious, how did you see that?
Your hair a different colour.
Yeah.
Because I've just seen your hair, they've changed your hair. It was blonde. They showed me blonde, and then you've got dark hair now.
Yeah.
When did you change your hair?
Oh, maybe 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my spirit guide changed the colour of her hair as she was sitting there. I saw it. It was like, I'm surprised because she's dark now, but I'm seeing her blonde. And so, and sometimes when they give you things while you're there, they're linking into the energy. And I think what they were trying to do in hindsight is to say, this is all about the girls. This is all about where it started, because she changed her hair colour, and thinking about it afterwards, you're thinking, oh, well, maybe they're saying she's changed the dynamics of something in the past, and this is a clue. But it just went literally over our heads at the time, other than her hair had been changed colour. But at least we knew, though, that we were linking in the right way with our spirit guides doing, something like that. So,
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Jackie, too, you had heard from Spirit, "Come on, Henry, it's time to go."
I've just got an image of a man walking up these stairs. Then a woman at the bottom of the stairs, and she's going, "Come on, Henry, come on, it's time to go."
And Edna, when you were doing the family tree, you would have been the only one that knew that Henry was actually part of the family.
That's right. Yeah, I had a lot of information, but no one had till I could reveal it.
But what of the elderly couple who served as Jackie and Alison's spirit guides?
We were in the master bedroom. I got an image of a man stomping up the stairs.
You heard that
the next day.
The day you guys left Friday, I was home alone and I heard stomping upstairs in her room.
Okay. Well, we know who this is. As he was walking along, a lady appeared at the bottom of the stairs and she shouted, "Come on, Henry, it's time to go." Oh. Well, if you see their grandfather, they have two grandfathers, both named Henry.
The rescue mediums believed that these two spirits were Alfred and Janet's grandparents, seeking to protect and to help.
Yeah, both grandfathers were Henry. Incredible.
Edna, when you were doing that family tree, had you done the family tree? Because I can't remember if that family that we rescued, were they connected to the land?
No, they weren't.
No, so they had just come through the portal.
Yes, but there was a connection somehow with the area.
Right. Because I'm wondering how, what Edna has to do is she has to take note of everything that we say as we're walking around. So she's there with the headset on and she writes everything down that we're saying, and then she can use that information to go and do the research. Oh yeah, that's what Edna writes down. Yeah. But then she has to try and figure it out, So when it's a portal that's been opened by Ouija or however it's been opened, it's not necessarily connected to the house or the people in the house. It's connected to this portal that has been opened, and anybody can come through. So it's interesting how Edna was able to bring that together from the information that we were giving at the time. So because we had a time frame in that, the lady that we connected to in spirit was very, very cold, and you picked up on her energy first, Alison. You said it was a very, very windy and rainy sort of time. And then later on, I picked up on the same energy, giving the same information about it being very cold, very windy, very rainy. And I think that her little brother, whose name was given, he died in the November. So we try and get as much information as we can from what we're experiencing. So it will help Edna to try and link things together, because if she was very, very cold, it wouldn't have been in the heat of summer.
No, that's right, exactly. So that the time frame was key with that.
And making that so clear to Jackie.
Yes. Ed must have been jumping for joy.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Henry, it's time to go.
Absolutely.
Because at that point, we didn't know whether Henry needed rescuing. Was it Henry that needed rescuing? We didn't know who he was, because we met him quite early on, Alison, didn't we?
Yeah, we get different names that we're given by our spirit teams, but we don't know with the spirit or the spirits that we encounter which name fits which one. And sometimes it's a first name and a middle name. And I think you got the middle name, wasn't it, Edward? Wasn't his name Alfred Edward?
Yes, it was Alfred.
No.
Oh, with the little boy. Yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
Called out the name of Alfie, and then when she got more frantic, she was shouting, "Edward, Edward!" Alfred Edward Harrison was born in August 1902, and he died at the age of 5.
This is Alfred Edward Harrison's death certificate.
These records show that on November the 19th, 1907, one Alfred Edward Harrison succumbed to the ravages of diphtheria.
And he had a brother that was Albert Henry as well. So there's a few Henrys in the family appearing there.
Oh God, that's so significant, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Synchronicity. Yeah.
You also had Stephen in the Premonitions, and then I think the girls said that's who they did the Ouija board with, or that was one of their friends.
That's
Stephen.
I did a Ouija board with named Stephen. Yeah.
Okay.
Ouija board. We should remind people that the Ouija board used to be considered a game, but it's not a game, and it's I believe in most Canadian stores now. I believe that they are not being sold. I could be wrong about that.
Oh,
but
that's good.
But Ouija boards are not to be messed with, although you can make one yourself, as we all know, by putting a wine glass upside down and putting letters around. But there's something odd about them, isn't there? Every episode we've ever done that involves a Ouija board has always had some sort of dodgy concern around it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was going to say that there was a certain point when we'd go to different homes to interview the homeowners, that would be one of the questions I would just automatically ask. Has anyone here used a Ouija board? Just so that I knew that there's always the possibility that could be part of the direction that the show will go in.
Edna, with this one, with the mirror one, did the two when you went to the home, did the two girls admit that they'd used a Ouija board? Because some don't tell you, do they?
Yes, they did.
Good.
Yeah. And they gave the information of where and when and with whom.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, they must have been petrified as well, because I think it was Vicky that had her door, the bedroom door, opened. And obviously that door couldn't come open on its own. And Sam had seen, was it red water? Did you say something about water?
In the sink. The water turned red. Yes, in the sink.
That's it.
I was washing my face and the water started turning all red. I've seen this black shadow run across the stairs. It really scared me.
She said to me, "Mom, I saw a ghost."
A lot of times at night, I would just be laying in my bed, and then all of a sudden the door, it just swung open.
She gets up and shuts it.
And then it would open again.
And that door cannot open on its own.
And Shannon, we're looking at this episode because it's one of your favorites.
It is. It's probably one of my favorites for a couple of reasons. I think I might have been lucky enough as a teenager to play with Ouija board a few times, and nothing ever bad happened that I know of.
Good.
So is there a chance that sometimes you're just lucky, I guess? I don't think I ever took anybody home with me or had anything awful. But I also really like this episode because I have a niece about that age, and that's exactly who those girls remind me of. And she really thought, and her mom, it's just a toy. And I kept saying, after watching the show, no, it's not just a toy.
Yeah.
But same age, it just sort of resonated with me because it reminded me very much of her.
And that innocence in a way, what teenagers are like. They just want to dapple with everything. They want to have a go at everything. They want to have fun, and who would blame them? And as the Ouija boards were sold in shops as toys, then they didn't see any harm in what they were doing. But at the same time, they wanted to see if anything did happen. And of course it did, but not in a good way.
Yeah. And it doesn't always happen straight away. That's the thing. If you open a portal through a Ouija board, it can remain sort of dormant almost until a spirit finds its way and think, oh, hang on, there's a little bit of a light there. I'm going to go and see. So, yeah, it's not usually for any amount of years. So I think, Shannon, you're safe now.
You were lucky as well, very lucky. And I would say protected. You've obviously had protection around you. Yeah.
I like to think so. Wow. That's scary. So if you were, say we did this at someone's house, the portal stays there.
Yeah, it could do.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah,
because you could open the portal and the portal be opened in that house.
Whoops.
Okay. And then, maybe people moved out of the house, somebody else moved in, but the portal's still there.
Yeah.
And the other thing, of course, is you can open a portal, a spirit then could attach itself to you and follow you home.
Well, I wish I knew that, years ago, but, as a teen, it was just fun. It was just fun.
Yeah.
So I do have some questions, but I think you guys answered a lot of them already. I wanted to know about mirrors too. Like in your home, should they not be facing each other, or is there any concern in that?
It just creates more energy, doesn't it? If they are facing each other. And from a Feng Shui point of view, they say as well, don't they, never have a mirror over over the top of your bed, like obviously a ceiling mirror, and never have it by the bed. And one of the reasons is that, you know, at night time, when you open your eyes, if there's a mirror there, then that can sort of reflect different shapes, and it can be frightening to whoever's there. But also there's a thing where some people believe that during sleep state, your soul leaves the body. And if the mirror is by the bed, when they see the reflection, when it's coming back to the body, then that can frighten them. But, you know, it depends what people believe. I wouldn't have mirrors facing each other, and I wouldn't have one by the bed either. But that's just me.
Yeah, it is personal preference, but as you say, from Feng Shui point of view, it's about allowing the energy to flow rather than it being reflected back on itself.
Exactly.
The reason why we had the mirrors facing each other in that particular episode, originally they were back to back in the girls' rooms, but because both of them had connected to the Ouija board, one of them had opened it, and then that was Vicky, I think, had opened it. Yeah, and Vicky. Then when she stopped using it, her sister Samantha then carried on, and she'd opened that other one.
I've explained to you about the Ouija board. So you've initially opened a portal, Vicky, and because Sam is carrying on with the Ouija board, then more people are coming through.
Vicky has opened a portal.
Your mirror in your room, Vicky, is on the reverse side of the wall to the mirror that's in your room, Sammy. And we realised then that they really needed to face each other to try and contain what was going on.
We need that image together, don't we?
Did you ever have to revisit a house, either on the show or in your personal lives, because a spirit didn't come forward for the rescue? Your initial visit?
Not on the show. That's something that because we're on a timeline, our spirit guides are really, really good, and it's sort of like they bring in the cavalry almost to help to speed things up, because we only have a certain amount of time in which to complete that. But while we're there, it can take hours and hours to make that connection. On a personal level, I've had to revisit one place that stands out in my mind. It was here in England. I had to revisit that one 3 times. So because it's like you're having to counsel the spirit that's there. He was a bad guy. He'd killed someone. He'd got issues that we had to deal with from his childhood, and it was like you had to work through the layers of things with him, and it took 3 days.
Well, do you have any more questions, Shannon?
Questions. I told Sandy, just when I think I don't have any more, I come up with
think of more.
Right. Okay, I didn't know last time if I was allowed to know that Edna's intuitive, and I believe Michael is too. But when you'd go do the initial interview, was there ever a house that you noticed right away there was spirit activity? See or feel or pick up on anything?
Yeah, I guess so. A couple of times. Yeah, we've felt things. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, Edna? You feel something.
Yes, absolutely. Or I always love when we were in a crunch and we needed a place really fast because of circumstances, maybe a cancellation. And I remember driving around Cambridge looking and thinking, okay, maybe one of these houses has a situation where they need the rescue mediums to come. So I saw one house and it just looked break. I went up and knocked on the door and just said, you wouldn't happen to have a haunting there, or you need the help of the rescue mediums. And they did. So
that's your spirit guide, absolutely on the ball there, Edna. That's fantastic, isn't it?
That's awesome. Okay, funniest off-camera moments.
Many when me, Jackie, and Edna are together. When when we've done a show and it's all gone really well, and we can let our hair down.
We do. Our hair down. Yeah, we dance. We have a glass of wine. There's some photographs
a glass of wine
with a blankie round us.
The famous blankie, red blankie. I loved it. Yeah.
It's interesting to see if, how we have cameras everywhere now on phones. If there was some, if you had that to do, that'd be fun. And you guys answered my question. I was going to ask what percentage of homes that you visit have spirit due to the Ouija board, but I guess that's
a lot.
Yeah.
What about, I know that the whole cast and crew, as you guys say, that your grounding and protection is really important. Has anybody left spirit or had any lingering effects?
Well, we've had one of our camera people, one of our DOPs, during an episode be affected, and he basically nearly collapsed, I think it was, and that was spirit oriented. And for myself, in visiting, I thought I'd visited the place with Edna, but I hadn't. I had visited with one of my production assistants, and coming back from the place, because I guess I didn't ground, I remember driving on the highway, and when Jackie visited the place, she experienced blood and everything like that, and my nose, out of nowhere, uncontrollably bled on the highway.
Oh my God!
And
wow.
I had to get off the highway and go into a gasoline station and get a whole bunch of Kleenex and everything, because it was just uncontrollable, and I don't know what caused that or what it was, if that was spirit, and it was because I didn't ground myself correctly or something. Anyway.
And that was on one of the earlier shows, was it, Michael?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, that's awful. And I remember you telling me about Mike, the cameraman, because obviously, and you said he went, and he's a big man, Mike, as well, isn't he? Yeah. And I remember once, and I think we have mentioned it on here, one of the episodes, me and Jackie were locked in our director's car. We weren't locked in.
That's right.
And then we're sitting there, and the crew are getting everything ready and the home ready for us to go in to do, was it the rescue day, Jackie? I can't remember, but anyway.
Yeah, I think so,
We were sitting in the car, and we thought, right, we better ground. And we were just about to ground in the car before we went in. And we heard the locks in the car go, and we were locked in. And we thought, oh, we'll be okay in a minute. They'll all realise, that we obviously they'll see we're not there. And it took ages. We had to. It was like one of the crew came out to get some equipment out of the van, and we were banging on the car windows. I felt like really spooked, but that was a very strong one. And it was like the spirit did not want me and Jackie to go in and do the rescue. Yeah.
And camera batteries would often drain really fast.
Yes.
They'd have to keep changing them.
Yeah.
At many shows.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. We were at one place, I can't remember. I know we were in the basement, and the family had been sleeping, I think, in the basement. And when we did the filming down there, everything went off. Like all of the cameras drained, the sound wouldn't work. the director's like monitor that he views everything. He has 2 monitors for each of the cameras. That went completely as well. It's like nothing worked. It was that was quite bizarre. But as Edna said, that's happened quite a few times where everything just gets drained, batteries get drained.
Do you think that that is spirit? If that is spirit doing that, because I know that the crew always charge their batteries because we make them do it every morning.
Oh,
So
yeah.
100%. Do you think it's the spirit sort of saying, we don't want you to know too much about us, so we're going to like try to shut you down?
It could be just that they're using the energy. They're using the energy of the battery.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, we did the limo, didn't we?
The limo. I love the limo. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a stretch limo.
Yeah. Yeah, we did the arrival was a limo.
That's right.
Yeah, and so was the departure, because you did the cheers in the back of the limo.
Yes.
Did. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Gorgeous
And discover
girls, aren't
themselves driven to one specific conclusion.
Another successful rescue, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? But how unusual, you know, using the mirrors.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The way to close the portal.
Yeah, and helping the girls in the house as well. That was important.
It was, and those poor lost souls that we sent over to the light,
Helping
you know?
spirit of every kind.
Of course.
Yeah. And a good job we could close that portal.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But do you know the kind of portal that I like, Alison?
What's that, Jackie?
The short portal.
A short portal? What do you mean, a short portal? I don't understand.
A short glass of port.
Cheers!
I remember one of the lines on your arrival. I don't know who wrote it. Sort of said the rescue mediums are I can't remember it now. The rescue mediums are like stretching out to help this homeowner, and then this big long limo comes around the corner, and I think, oh my God,
it was good. It was
no,
good.
I should be banned from anything like that.
I could just drink some port now as well. I just want a glass of port after us talking about port. Yeah, as a cheers. I've got water here. Yeah, it's not quite the same.
You can get port in Spain. Anyway, so cheers.
Cheers. You should do a cheers for this Mirror episode, Michael. Can you do a cheers for this? Can you think of a
I
pun
could
for
do a
this one?
cheers for the Mirror episode, but I wouldn't want it to be a reflection upon you.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Cheers.
everybody.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed watching behind the scenes, please like, share and subscribe to veryparanormal.com, the portal for everything paranormal, where you can watch every episode of Behind the Scenes and every episode of Rescue Mediums, plus so much more. And it's absolutely free. You can't get much better than that. Cheers.